What if GM isn't planning to replace the 6.6-liter Duramax at all, but is instead pushing that same proven platform even harder, while something far bigger quietly waits in the background? That single question is turning into one of the most talked about topics in the heavy-duty diesel world right now. For years, the 6.6-liter Duramax has served as the backbone of the Chevrolet Silverado HD and GMC Sierra HD diesel lineup, and in its current L5P form, it is already an incredibly capable engine that has earned real trust from owners who tow for a living. But alongside serious conversation about where the Duramax goes next, another figure keeps popping up online, everywhere from forums to comment sections: 8.3 liters. Is the automaker really working on an 8.3-liter diesel for its trucks? And if so, what would that actually mean for the trucks sitting in your driveway? But here's where things get interesting. Let's start with just how far Chevrolet has already pushed the engine it currently builds. GM's diesel V8 is a turbocharged unit found under the hood of Chevrolet and GMC heavy-duty pickups. In today's HD trucks, it makes roughly 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. Numbers like that would have sounded almost impossible for a factory diesel pickup just 2 decades ago. The company has spent years refining every part of the powertrain around this engine, including cooling capacity, turbocharger response, fuel delivery, emissions control, and transmission calibration, all built to deliver consistent, dependable pulling power under heavy loads. That's only part of the story. There's a common assumption in the truck community that every new generation has to be bigger than the last. 6.6 becomes 7.0, then maybe 7.5. Then 8.3. But that's not really how modern diesel development works anymore. Modern diesel engines don't always need more displacement. Better turbocharging, fuel delivery, cooling, and software can unlock major performance gains while keeping the same engine size. That means the next big upgrade to the existing platform could still be built around the same displacement, while performing in a noticeably different way. GM could widen the torque band across the rev range instead of chasing a bigger peak number. For anyone towing a fifth-wheel trailer or hauling heavy equipment, exactly where that torque shows up and how consistently the engine holds onto it can matter far more than one impressive number printed on a spec sheet. There's one detail most truck owners overlook when they picture a bigger engine solving every problem. Reliability plays just as big a role. With torque already close to 1,000 pound-feet from the factory, every additional increase puts more strain on the transmission, drive shaft, axles, and cooling system. More power is never truly free, and that trade-off shapes almost every decision engineers make long before an engine ever reaches a dealership lot. So where does this 8.3-liter story actually come from? The surprising part is that the rumors didn't appear out of nowhere. Here's the honest answer. The 6.6-liter Duramax is real, it's proven, and it continues to evolve year after year. An 8.3-liter GM Duramax, on the other hand, has never been officially confirmed for Silverado HD or Sierra HD production, and that difference matters a lot. Right now, an 8.3-liter Duramax for the automaker's consumer heavy-duty pickups should be treated purely as an unconfirmed rumor, not as an announced production engine. GM has not publicly stated that an 8.3-liter Duramax will replace the 6.6-liter L5P in the Silverado 2500 HD, Silverado 3500 HD, Sierra 2500 HD, or Sierra 3500 HD. This changes the conversation completely. That doesn't rule out a larger diesel down the road, because the competitive pressure around GM is real. Ford keeps pushing power stroke torque higher with every refresh. Ram still leans on Cummins for its reputation as a heavy hauler, and GM now faces pressure to respond without sacrificing the reliability the Duramax name is built on. Diesel torque numbers have become one of the biggest marketing battlegrounds in this entire segment, with every manufacturer racing to claim stronger towing capability, better performance under load, and greater long-term durability. None of the 3 brands can afford to sit still while the other 2 keep raising the bar on paper and on the showroom floor. And that pressure is exactly why the 8.3-liter rumors keep resurfacing every time a competitor announces something new. A larger displacement diesel could theoretically deliver strong, low RPM torque without leaning as hard on aggressive boost pressure. But there are real trade-offs to consider too. An 8.3-liter V8 would likely be heavier, more expensive to produce, and harder to package under the hood. Cooling demands could climb, emissions compliance would become a bigger engineering hurdle, and the automaker would need a drivetrain strong enough to handle whatever torque figure that engine ultimately produced. Simply building a bigger engine isn't automatically the smarter solution. For the company, standing still simply isn't an option, especially with buyers now expecting newer, heavy-duty pickups to tow massive trailers while still delivering smooth, comfortable drivability. But there's another side to this. The real question isn't just whether an engine can produce more power, it's whether the rest of the truck can put that power to good use. That's exactly why future improvements may focus more on durability, cooling, and sustained output, rather than simply chasing the biggest possible torque figure on paper. So what could a next-generation Duramax realistically improve, assuming GM sticks with the current architecture? There are several areas where meaningful gains could still happen. A revised turbo could sharpen throttle response at lower speeds while maintaining strong airflow under heavy loads, and updated fuel injection could boost combustion efficiency and cut turbo lag when the truck is under a heavy load, which matters most when merging onto the highway with a full trailer behind it. Software will keep playing a massive role too, since even small calibration updates can reshape shift behavior, exhaust temperatures, and overall towing performance without touching a single physical part under the hood. Emission systems will remain a major focus too, as GM continues balancing power, reliability, and increasingly strict emissions standards. Here's what really matters though. The existing 6.6-liter engine already delivers tremendous performance, and additional output can likely be found without adding 1.7 full liters of displacement. A genuinely new 8.3-liter engine would make far more sense if GM wanted to enter a much higher-duty application or build a powertrain with dramatically different operating demands altogether. There's a big difference between industry speculation, early engineering exploration, and an engine officially announced for production. Until the automaker releases real specifications, confirmed applications, or an actual production timeline, the 8.3-liter engine belongs firmly in the rumor column, nothing more. Now the picture becomes clearer. The real headline isn't that the 6.6-liter Duramax has suddenly become outdated. If anything, it's almost the complete opposite. Chevrolet has spent years refining this platform, and the L5P proves just how much performance can be pulled from the existing platform while still keeping the traits heavy-duty buyers count on every day. The next chapter could bring more horsepower and torque, sure, but gains in cooling, efficiency, emissions durability, and transmission integration could end up mattering even more to real owners. And if the company eventually announces something significantly larger, the entire heavy-duty diesel battle shifts into a different phase overnight. For right now, though, the 6.6-liter Duramax remains GM's proven heavy-duty diesel powerhouse, while talk of an 8.3-liter successor stays firmly unconfirmed. And honestly, that might be the most interesting part of this story, worth remembering next time a big new number starts trending online. GM doesn't necessarily need an 8.3-liter engine to keep moving the Duramax forward. With Ford, Ram, and Cummins continuing to raise the bar, the automaker has plenty of reasons to keep evolving the 6.6-liter first. For now, every sign points to GM continuing to refine its proven diesel V8 rather than chasing a bigger engine for headlines alone. If an 8.3-liter Duramax ever arrives, it will likely be because the current platform has reached its true engineering limit, not because it has fallen behind. Until then, the future of GM's heavy-duty diesel isn't about displacement. It's about how much more performance engineers can unlock from the proven 6.6-liter Duramax. And that story is far from over.